sales and increase your revenue in Q1 2023. And one of the things that we do majorly at the Just a Bit company is help CEOs of mid-level and top-level companies increase their revenue generation, leveraging a very strategic framework that we believe every organization needs for a time such as this. And today we want to attempt to break down what this principle means and how you should leverage it for your business. My name is Just Ibe, and I am the lead consultant at the Just Ibe company. Today, we are going to be unbundling the MAOPES framework and why it matters to you as a CEO of an organization, especially those within the mid-level and the top level. Now, as a CEO within the mid-level and top level echelon, this is the beginning of the year for majority of us. And it means that in the beginning of the year, you're strategically thinking about how do I make sure that the numbers add up as far as revenue generation, as far as profits, considering the fact that we live in such turbulent times economically as a nation, as a continent, even globally. So that means as a CEO of these companies, you must be thinking outside the box to be able to maximize revenue generation, even in that market where you have been before. As much as it may look like the economy is suffering some level of strangulation, especially in majority of the African economies, what this poses to us as entrepreneurs is opportunities. And I know that we hear this a lot. So we begin to say what opportunity exists in an economy that is almost very stifled. And herein lies your ability to truly decompose the things that I will teach you today. That's how you truly begin to see opportunities. Because in every turbulent time, turbulence is a way of showing you that there's light at the end of the tunnel. In fact, for some people who are filled with wisdom, if I may say, from the beginning of the turbulence, they begin to see the opportunities and how they can leverage it to truly create light in that seeming turbulence. And that's what we do as entrepreneurs, creating solutions. And in order for us to create solutions that would outlive us and make us still profitable, no matter the economy, it means that we must understand what it means to truly serve customers whose needs are ever dynamic. And in this case, not just dynamic, customers are now very, very aware of how much they must prioritize their needs, prioritize their preferences. So it's easy now for customers to move you from a must-have product to a, well, nice to have product if they don't see how compelling your service or your product is to them as a business owner. So let's go straight into it. Like I said earlier, my name is Just Ibe, and today we are going to be decomposing the MAOPES framework to help you maximize your revenue generation. The first M in the MAOPES is spelled MAOPES. MAOPES. The first in MAOPES is M. And M signifies your messaging. Now, I know that the first thing you will do as a business owner before you even start is to clarify your message. I get that. So there's hardly any business that is thriving today that does not have a message that the world seemingly connects with them by. Okay, your message could be your unique selling proposition, or it could even sometimes be the tagline, what people can easily remember about you. Do you see what I mean? It could be any of those things. But what I find about messaging and why it is important to keep tweaking messaging is because every time you want to sell a product and a service, customers are not looking for the features. They are looking for the offer in the product. Herein lies where, as a CEO, you don't just rely on your messaging as far as products and services are concerned. You must be able to take your messaging and then whip up offers out of your messaging consistently to keep your customers watching and keep your customers coming. And I'm going to take that again very quickly. It's not enough to have a clear messaging as a CEO of a mid-level company and top-level company. In order to make sure your products are irresistible and continuously on demand in the market, you have to master how to create offers, consistent offers from your messaging. That means your offers cannot carry a semblance of something that doesn't look anything like the messaging or the message that your business carries. So the reason why I keep saying CEOs should keep going back to their messaging is because every time you want to create a product or a service, the offer must be whipped out from that overarching message so that the customers will be able to take what it is the offer is and then be able to link it back to that messaging. Because your message is as flexible as anything else, as flexible as even the air that you breathe. But you must have an understanding of how to look at that message, pull out offers from it again and again and again, non-ending offers in a way that your customers keep coming back to that same focal point. The focal point, i.e., the messaging that it is you represent as a business owner. A typical example is, say, I am a business owner who sells maybe kiddies products. Let's use kiddies products as an example. And consistently, people know that they come to you for decent kiddies outfit, right? So your messaging is, we represent decency in the younger generation. I'm using that as an example. That's your messaging or your overarching message as a business owner who runs a kiddies clothing line. We create decency in the younger generation. Now, every time you're trying to sell a new product or a new bundle or a new service, as far as this overarching message is concerned, you're going to have to create offers from within that decency to say, help your child look presentable, help your child look presentable in that party without attracting the wrong kind of attention. I don't know if this makes sense. You know how you go for certain parties and you see children looking not like children, and you're wondering who dressed them up, right? You see them looking like adults who are actually children, and that's because the mother is trying to create a picture of, a child who probably looks XYZ kind of way. Now, your messaging as a person who sells kiddies clothing could be, listen, because we represent decency in the younger generation as a core messaging, our offers will be things around helping you look presentable, smashing, yet not attracting the wrong kind of attention to you. The wrong kind of attention. This is such a powerful messaging because we live in a world where pedophiles are all over the place. All right. So, as a person who sells kiddies outfits, imagine that there's a subtlety in you saying to parents, I want to clothe your children without attracting the wrong kind of eyes. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's part of your overarching message of decency in the younger generation. You're just pulling out offers from that overarching message. That way, every time you want to launch a bundle, a new product, a new line, there's always an offer that is connected to the overarching message. And I use kiddies clothing as an example. There's so many other things. There's a real estate company, there's a cosmetic, there's services, there's every single industry where you operate in. The most important thing that you must pay attention to is that your messaging at every point in time must be crystal clear so that you can whip up several offers from within your messaging without losing your centricity as a brand, without losing the core of who you are as a brand, without losing the focal points customers are attracted to you for. And that's why it must be crystal clear. Now, I know that there may be CEOs who'll be like, well, just all of these things you're saying is foreign to me, it's alien to me. All I know is I just create products and I describe the features. That's the reason why you may not be attracting the kind of sales or revenue that you want to be attracting in your business, because customers are not necessarily interested in the features. If you do find people who buy for you based on features, you are not able to keep them loyally coming back again and again and again. And let me tell you, there's a difference between making money in a business and actually creating a brand that will stand the test of time. They're two different things. And CEOs of mid-level companies, I need you to pay attention to this. There's a difference between making sales in a company and creating a brand that will stand the test of time. People are attracted to brands because of how transformative they feel like they are when they engage with different areas of that brand. People are loyal to brands because of the promise that the brand offers to them, not once, not twice, repeatedly. So that means that if you are a business owner who is focused on, I just want to make my money, I just want the revenue to come in, it means that you are not cementing in the hearts of your customers a promise. And that's what keeps customers coming back. Except, of course, you want to be the kind of business owner who is working in your business forever. You know what I mean by working in your business? Meanwhile, your business should be working. Your business should be working for you because you have created a system where your brand gives a promise to your customers and they keep coming back, rather than you chasing after them repeatedly. There must be a system that projects a promise and pulls the customer to you based on that promise and keeps them coming back. That's how companies grow. That's how companies grow. That's how companies grow. That is how companies grow. Every company that you look up to today and you keep going back to them, whether it's the tech companies, whether it's the services companies, whether it's the product companies, there's a promise they give to you and they have been consistent with that promise. That's the reason why you can't leave them. That's the reason why you cannot leave them. That's the reason why you keep going back to them and you don't understand why you keep going back to them. That's why. So you as a CEO of a mid-level company, this is that time where you to actually be very deliberate about creating a brand promise, projecting it to your customers, and putting systems in place that allows them keep coming back to you as a business owner. And that's just stage one in the entire brand work or in the entire Mayor's principle. Stage two of the Mayor's principle is your audience. Your audience. How do you make sure that at every point in time, the audience you say you serve is still the audience you serve based on their needs, their desires, their preferences? Based on their needs, their desires, their preferences. The average desire of the normal customer, right, is ever dynamic. It's so dynamic that today you may think you're serving this customer and tomorrow their desires, their needs, their wants changes automatically. And so you're speaking the same language to an audience you have been used to serving for a long time, but they can't seem to get it. And I'm wondering, but what's going on? It's the same strategy. It's the same marketing message we've been using. And all of a sudden it looks like they're not paying attention anymore. The dynamism of your audience. It's important that at every point in time as a CEO of a mid-level company, you are always going back to check the audience that you say you serve, that they're still the audience that you serve. And there are several ways to actually achieve this, right? A lot of times you can do periodic sampling, you can do surveys, okay? And surveys are so powerful because, and one of the reasons why surveys are so powerful is helps customers tell you exactly what it is they want to see in the innovation you put in their products and services or the new features they want to see in their products and services, right? It helps you actually help them show you what to create next for them. So if you're going to leverage service, it means that you must have had a system of customer relationship management. If you don't have a functional CRM in your business, you cannot pull out of your customers the service needed for you to create better solutions for them. So as a CEO of a mid-level company, this means that you must have a functional CRM tool and system. It's not just the tool, it's a system that manages the customers, their needs, their desires, their wants, their feedback mechanism, their what's the word now? Their complaint management system. You have to have all of those things in place so that once you need them to be a part of the products and services that you want to innovatively create, they are willing to do that for you. Or it can just be embedded into the CRM system that you have that way to drive the answers you're looking to see to create better solutions for them. And that's about it for the audience. These things are summarized because we have less than 12 minutes to round up this entire conversation. We do have a bigger place where you can sit down and learn about everything I just taught you now, right? It's on our YouTube channel. It's a free masterclass series for CEOs of mid-level and top-level organizations. Now, I do know that there are CEOs who are like, you know what, just cut me the chase. I really don't want to learn all of these things. Come and do it for us. That's what we're here for. You just send us an email or send us a message via any of our social media platform, and we will be willing to come and help you as an organization create an entire strategy and execution blueprint for you to smash your revenue target. And that's about it for the audience. The next thing is the offer in the MAOPES principle. The offer is what makes customers say, I want to buy. There's so many CEOs of mid-level companies selling products and services, not offers. The more you sell products and services, the more it is easy for someone to So it's important to pay attention to the fact that customers are not interested in buying products or services. You may have had luck or consistently have sales with products and services, but you will find that there are those who are in your entire niche market or industry who are consistently bringing in huge amount of revenue by offers. Offer is what makes a customer say, I want this now. It's almost as saying it's almost as positioning your products and services in a way that you just tell them buy it now and then they buy it now. That's what offers do. Offers create a sense of urgency in the minds of your customers as to why they need to make that decision to part with their cash or their hard-earned money for your products and services. As a CEO today, bring out all your products, all your services, and say, what are the offers around each of my products and services? If you cannot define very crystal clear the offers around each of those products and services, you need to go back to the drawing table. And what I mean by that is you need to go back and be able to say, I need to be certain that my products and services are communicating to my customers by this now. That's what it is. With offers, you are able to cut out all the objections that customers have when they want to do business. With offers, it's easy to block out all of those objections because customers can see clearly why they need it and why they need it now. And so all your products and services must have offers so that it is easy to compel your customers to buy from you. And that's that about offers. Like I said, this is just an abridged version of breaking this down. The bigger part of breaking this down is when we do it inside your business, where you are seeing clearly how this will help you move from point A to point B. And that's it for offers. The next is the penetration strategy. You see, there is no revenue increase or there's no increase in revenue generation without a market penetration strategy. Even the market where you currently serve, your penetration strategy determines what chunk of the market you get. That market where you currently serve, your penetration strategy determines the chunk or the market share that you have. So that means that the first thing you should do as a CEO of a mid-level company is what's my penetration strategy for this market that I currently actually serve in. The other is if I want to enter 2 new markets, what is my penetration strategy? Because without it crystal clear, you cannot actually get the best of that industry. Every industry is ruled by specific persons who are players in that industry. You can command either a 10% share, a 5% share, a 3% share. In the previous class we did sometime last week or 2 weeks ago, I taught you how to calculate your market share in any market where you exist. Because if you don't understand that, you will just be getting crumbs in that market where others are getting the bulk. So understanding your market share helps you know that you have been playing and there's so much more that you can do in that industry. And so with the penetration strategy, it helps you reconfirm that you have a sizable share. And if not, it helps you make sure that you deepen your share of wallet in that entire industry. It doesn't stop at that. It also goes far as making sure that you have a huge chunk of the wallet share or the mind share of the people who are in that industry. Because it's one thing to have an industry where customers are paying, it's another thing to have the topmost share of the mind of those who are paying. Because if you don't have the topmost share of the mind of those who are paying, they can easily swap your brand for another brand. So 2 things: market share, mind share. Market share, mind share. Market share, mind share. And like I said earlier, 2 weeks ago, I did a calculation. I did a class where I taught you how to calculate your market share. It's on our social media pages, either on YouTube or on Instagram or on LinkedIn. Do well to search to just get a replay on how you too can calculate your market share in real time. That would help you actually create a penetration strategy that helps you increase that market share, right? Because your revenue will not increase if your market share doesn't increase. Your revenue will not increase if your market share does not increase. And your market share will not increase if you do not have a functional market penetration strategy. And that's where we come in as consultants to help you plot a graph as to how you can increase your penetration strategy in that market where you currently exist, as well as when you want to enter into new markets, you're able to strategize to get the best from those new markets. Okay, that's our penetration strategy. The next is the execution blueprint. What do I need to do to make sure that my market penetration strategy delivers? That's what execution blueprint is. You see, the reason why I'm breaking this down to you in depth as as a CEO is so that you too can see how and why some of the strategies you have developed in the past did not deliver value for you. It's because there's a step by step. After the strategy, there must be an execution blueprint that makes sure everything in that strategy is done. And in that execution blueprint, what we do is make sure that there's an accountability system that makes sure every indices in that execution blueprint, in the entire strategy works. It's a very detailed system of work that makes sure every team member sees what their role is and are held accountable for their role. And then the final part is scale. How do I scale everything I have done? Typical example, you have created a market penetration strategy and you have seen how it has developed for you a 3% increase. How then do you scale this to meet your revenue goal of a 10% increase? That's what scale does. So what we do with our clients in this particular case is to come in and look at the things that works the best and then calculate the amount of effort required to give us the percentage we are looking at or looking for. You see, as CEOs, I know you know this more than anybody. Revenue generation, especially increments in revenue generation, is not guesswork, it's not trial and error, it's not luck. It's a lot of times the grace of God powered by the right wisdom in the right direction. The grace of God powered by the right wisdom and the right strategic direction. That means the grace of God power layering on it, then wisdom required for you to go the right way. Once you have that, you are rest assured that your revenue, you're able to increase it within the market where you operate as a CEO of a mid-level company. As I wrap up today, I need you to realize that there isn't necessarily a shortage of customers. There isn't necessarily a shortage of finance or cash to go around as far as products and services are concerned. Customers' needs are just changing. And because customers' needs are ever changing, they're easily pushing one product to another or pushing one product from another on their scale of preference. Most times, if your product is pushed from point A to point C, you would have a reduction in the number of customers that service you. And it's not something that you did wrong. It's something that you probably are not paying attention to. Because as customers' dynamic and change and needs are changing, you as a customer must be sensitive enough to know the messaging, the offer, understand the audience, understand the penetration strategy, and the execution blueprint to pull them out to pay attention to the things that you have for them. So, as we wrap up, I just want to say that if you are a CEO looking to truly increase your revenue in 2023, especially Q1, H1, and you're wondering what do you need to do differently, please book a strategy session with us as we outline the exactitudes of what you must do, how you must do it, who you need to do it with, so that you can achieve the results you want to achieve. I believe that our role as a consultant is to make your journey very crystal clear and then hand you a document, of course, with an accountability system that helps you achieve what you want to achieve. To do that, please send us an email via info@justebay.com with a copy to ebayjust@gmail.com, or you can do well to send us an email, a DM via any of our social media handles, and our delightful team will be willing to pick it up from there and help you build as you have desired to build. Thank you so much for listening. Do well to share, do well to repost, and do well to invite as many other CEOs who need to listen to everything that you have learned today. God bless you and have a fantastic rest of the week. Thank you.